Hello everyone. In this video I am going to talk about creating databases in Microsoft Excel 2010. A database is a collection of related data. For example, in a shop's database, we may have data related to customers, products, or transactions. This data is generally stored in the form of tables, and these tables in Microsoft Excel database are called as database lists. So, a database list is a table in Excel database. A database list in MS Excel database consists of fields and records. The fields are the cells or the boxes in which we put the values. The records are the rows of the table. Vertical collection of fields, that is, a column has a header, and that header is called as field label. For example, in the customer table or a database list named customer, we may have different field labels like first name, last name, address, etc. In order to create a database list, you have to simply type the data first. For example, I am going to enter the data for customer here. So I have entered a label called customer. Label is any text that you enter in MS Excel. Now I will define the field labels. Field label means the column headers. Now we will enter some records. After entering the data, now let's resize the columns so that we can see the data completely. Now, in order to create the table, we have to first select the data. I will click on the first cell and will drag the mouse pointer over all the cells that I want to include in the table that I am going to create. After selecting the data, click on Insert tab, and from the Tables group of buttons, click on Table. This opens the Create Table dialog box, and the range that you had selected is automatically taken up. You can set this checkbox to on in case you have specified the field labels. Since we have specified the field labels, so we will leave it to on. Now click on OK, and as you can see, you have additional tab, that is Table Tools Design tab. The Properties group of buttons provides you an option to give a name to the table. By default, it is Table 1. You can rename this table to Customer Table or any name that you want to give. Press Enter key. Now you can see that this table has drop down arrow for every field label. This drop down arrow will help you sort the data, that is arrange the data in a particular order, and will help you filter the data quickly. Now let's talk about the data form. By default, there is no direct option to open the data form in MS Excel. In order to make it appear, you have to click on File tab, go to the Options. This opens the Excel Options dialog box. From here, go to Quick Access toolbar, and in the Choose Commands from down arrow, select Commands not in the ribbon. The left area shows the list of commands which we can choose from, and this right area displays the list of commands which are displayed on the Quick Access toolbar. From the left list, scroll through the commands and find Form. Select it and click on add. Now click on OK, and you can see we have a data form button in the quick access toolbar. In order to open the form, you have to make sure that you have selected the table, or you have selected at least any one cell in the table for which you want to launch the form. I will click on the form button, and this opens a form. The name of the form displays here sheet 3. This is the name of the sheet in which the table is stored. By default, it displays you the first record, and you can see all the field headers are appearing here. If you want to go to the next record, you can click on find next, or you can use this scroll bar also. So I will click on the down scroll button, and you can see I can scroll through the different records of the table. In case you want to add a new record, you can click on new button from here. Then provide the first name and the last name, then address, the name of the product, and the payment made. As you can see, now there is nothing here. Now click on close, and you will see that the data has been added to the table. Now we will open the form again and we'll see how to update the records. For example, I want to update this first name. Instead of Raja, I want to write here Rahul. So for this, I will search the record first. In order to search the record, I will click on criteria. And in the first name, I will write Raja. Click on find next. This gives me the complete set of values for that particular record. And now, instead of Raja, I want to make it Rahul. So I will erase this thing and will write Rahul here. After I have written the value, I can click on close, and the value is updated here. Let's launch the form again and see the other options. We have the option to delete the data. So select the record that you want to delete, either by navigating using the scroll bar, or you can use the criteria also to search for the data. For example, suppose I want to use a criteria to search the last name Sharma. Now I will click on find next, and it will take me to the next record having the last name as Sharma. Now click on find next, and similarly you can keep finding. Suppose I want to delete this record, that is Pramod Sharma. As you can see, it is here. So let's click on delete. When you click delete, there is a warning coming up. Confirm your action by clicking on OK. And you can see the record is deleted. Now click on close. Now let's talk about setting data validation rule. Data validation rule helps us control the values that may be stored in a particular cell. In order to set the data validation rule, I will select the payment data. We'll click on data tab, and from the data tools group of buttons, we click on data validation. This opens the data validation dialog box. The first tab open is settings. In this we can specify the validation criteria or the conditions which we want to specify for the data to be entered here. Now it is allowing any value, but we want a whole number. That means there will be no fractional value allowed here. In the next section, I will say data which is greater than or equal to. This means that the value is specified. For example, I will say minimum value is 3000. So the data which is 3000 or more than that will be allowed here. The next tab is input message. Here you can specify the message that you want to display when the cell is selected. So I don't want to display anything for now. However, you can provide a title and a proper message that you want to display. Now we will go to the error alert. This section helps us specify the message that we want to display in case somebody has entered invalid data. So for this I will provide a title, say alert, and in the message I will say invalid data entered. Click on OK. Let's try entering some smaller value here. I will write here 2000. Press enter and you can see there is an alert and it says invalid data entered. You can click on cancel and it will revert to the previous value. You can see there is a green mark here, so select the data and from here you can see that data validation error is there. So we will edit the value. Let's edit here only. I will write here, suppose 2000. Again there is an error. However, this message is not very clear. Generally you should provide the message which gives a complete information about the error and tells the user what he should do to avoid this error. Now I will just change the data to 3200 and this time it is accepted. Now we will talk about sorting. Sorting refers to arrangement of data in a particular sequence. It can be either increasing order or decreasing order. In order to sort the data, you need to first select the field on the basis of which you want to sort the records. For example, I want to sort this set of records on the basis of the payment values. I can click on the down arrow here and select the sorting criteria. For now, I am going to select another way. So after selecting the field label, we'll go to the data tab and from sort and filter group of buttons, we click on sort A to Z and this will arrange the records in increasing order of payment values. As you can see, the related records are also shuffled. If you want the decreasing order, you can again go back and click on sort Z to A. So this will be now decreasing order of the payment values. Now in case you want to apply another level of sorting, for example, the payments, they are arranged in decreasing order, but now you want to have the rest of the things arranged on the basis of the alphabetical order of addresses. Then you can go and click on sort button. This opens the sort dialog box in which the already specified criteria for sorting is displayed, and now you can add another level by clicking on add level. So when we add level, first the data will be sorted by the payment column with its values in decreasing order and then by, suppose, address in increasing order. Click on OK and you can see that the payment values are in decreasing order and the addresses are in increasing order. For example, for the two values, that is 45,000, we have first address starting with letter D and then address starting with letter R. Similarly, in case of this 12,000, the two values are same, so we have address starting with K first and then for L. Now we will talk about filtering the records. Filtering the records will help you display the records which contain the data that you want. For example, suppose I want to display the list of records having the product as scanner only. For this, I can use auto filter, that is this down arrow from the field label, and from there I can go and deselect the select all option. After that, from the list I can select the one which I wanted, that is scanner. So put a tick mark there by clicking on the box besides the scanner and click on OK. Now only the record which contains the data of your choice is displayed, and this is a filtered data. You can see the funnel symbol here. The rest of the data which is not appearing here is not deleted. Actually, that is just hidden for now. In case you want the whole data to be displayed again, you can go and click on the down arrow again and then put a tick mark on select all box. Click on OK and you will have the whole data again on your screen. Now let's try applying a filter to a different field, that is payment field. Now click on the down arrow and you can see here there are different options like number filters. Here I want to display only the values which are suppose less than, so I will click on less than, say 15,000. Click on OK and you can see only the records which have the payment value less than 15,000 are displayed here. In order to remove this filter, you can click on the down arrow again and select clear filter from payment option. This will remove the filter and the whole data will be visible again. Similarly, you can apply different filter for text values also. For example, in the last name, suppose I want a text filter, like suppose I want to list the records who have their last names starting with, that is begins with, suppose S. I will write S and will click on OK. And now you can see the records are displayed only with the last names having first letter as S. Let's apply another filter on payments also. Now in the payments, I will specify a number filter and will say less than 15,000. Click on OK. Now you can see that the data is further filtered. That means the records having the last names starting with S and the payment values less than 15,000 are only displayed. In order to remove all the filters, you can simply click on the filter button here, or you can click on clear. So when you click on clear, the whole data is displayed and all the filters are cleared. When you click on this filter button, it removes the auto filter option which is appearing for every field. Now suppose you don't want this table anymore. You want it to be treated as a normal collection of cells or a normal cell range. You can go and click on Table Tools Design tab, and from the Tools group of buttons, click on Convert to Range. Now confirm your action by clicking on Yes in the dialog box which appears, and the table is converted into a normal cell range. Now you don't have a table anymore. You can see that the Table Tools Design tab is also gone. Thank you.